So today I am taking the Volvo over to my friend's shop, and he's going to let me use his pass-through cable so I can hopefully update the tranny control module. I think it needs to just be updated. I think it may have become corrupt, or maybe the software on it is just outdated, because I have a first to second and second to third like shift flare, and the rest of the gears are fine. So it's not a tranny issue, it's a software and ECU issue. So in the worst case, I'll probably have to end up replacing a module, but you know, I just want to have this so I could not have issues when I'm accelerating, and I really don't want to like rip on it from first to second to third, because it has that flare and it kind of engages a little bit hard, and over time it'll make the tranny go bad. I got that tool. It's like a bypass tool, so I could connect to the Volvo. To download the software, I actually need, I have a Mac. I need a Windows-based computer because it's not compatible with Mac. So I need to find one so I could do that. It definitely is having some shifting issues because of the whole, you know, I'm pretty sure it's the ECM's corrupt. When I drove it there and then drove it back, I got to check engine light. It said service tranny soon. Also, non-related, I think, to the tranny, I think it's power steering fluid, but the power steering pump, I think, is squirting fluid all everywhere. So I'll have to replace that as well. In the meantime, I flipped the 240 around because I need to get to this driver's side area. It gives me a lot more access to open the door fully, and then I can do the fuse box, and the wiring will be done after the fuse box is done. Well, I mean, the chassis harness wiring will be done, but engine harness wiring isn't that big of a deal. And I did buy LEDs for the triple projectors. I got them off eBay. I like instantly took them out after I turned them on, because where they're at, these. So literally, I bought these and I bought these, and instantly pulled them out because they were like 100% too dim. So I'm gonna just run the Silver Stars. So cleaned up the garage a little bit. I still have this stuff right here, but all this over here is cleaned, and you know, this is all the stuff out of the VR4, and you know, pretty much all the stuff in the 2.4 from the 240 is in the back and everything, just so I can get the wiring finished. But this, I'm gonna back it out of the garage, and I started last night, but since it's the single stage paint on these are well, is like kind of a pain, because it really just wants a, so I was hitting it with 80 grit on the angle grinder, and it really just wants to like pull up almost. So I gonna pretty much just pull it out a little bit, and then I could just hose it off the driveway. But I want to get this whole quarter down to pretty close to bare metal, pretty much just through the single stage, and if there's some primer on there, that's okay, but definitely want to get the single stage off of the quarter panels, and I'll get it off of this right here because I need to paint that. And then the rest of the stuff, like the door sills and the right up in here, I'll just use the scuff it stuff and just scuff it, and when I shoot it, it'll be you know, it'll adhere to the top of the single stage, but I'd rather not have the actual part that I'm going to, that's going to be visible to I want it to be actually off that single stage, because I don't know, I just don't like how it acts when I sand it. But if I do the scuff stuff up here, it will you know, it'll be fine. And I have new sail panels, so those pretty much are going to go. I'll pull the windows out. So the plan is to do the quarters, get them in some high build, figure out exactly what I need to fix, and fill any little dings that I need to fill, and then probably high build it a few more times, and then I'll bring it back over, and then let it probably cure for like a week or so. I'll leave it outside a few times so the sun actually bakes it in, so it shrinks into all the scratches. And then once that's done and I get a final block on it with some 320, I'll spray spray that color on it, do the whole, you know, do the quarters, do all the way back here. And also another thing is I'm going to fix all these little broken studs for the bumper. Since there's not very many to hold the actual bumper on, I ordered some stainless M6 rib nuts. So once those get in, I'll pretty much just cut these off from the back. They're just have some tack welds on a little square thing. I don't know, I don't want to pull the bumper off, but you know what I'm talking about. And also on this side, since I have that other car, I'm going to fill the antenna hole. I'm going to fill the hole on the hatch like I said before. And then I have this little spot of rust right here, so I'll cut a piece of the other out of the other car, and it actually really doesn't even go into the body. It's just, well, I mean, the quarter panel is the body, but like the main body, so it literally just is in this part of the quarter panel, not even into the body part. So it like ends right there, which is actually kind of nice. And you can see all these, you know, these dents and stuff right here and right there. And then there's plenty on the driver's side quarter panel. So I want to get all those fixed and make it nice and smooth and get it in the purple. So I can't wait to see it in the color, and then that'll make it a lot nicer, because once the actual shell is in the color, I could put all the back interior, that pile right there, I could put all that back into the car. And the only thing that's really going to be off of the car is the fenders and the hood, which, because I'll have the bumper painted, but the fenders and the hood need body work. And the doors I'll probably do at the same time. So, I mean, I feel like it'll come together pretty quick, and I'll probably end up using a heat gun to pull this off so I can put it back on, or at least like make another one somehow. I'll figure something out, but I definitely want a new one of those, because you can't actually order those anymore. And you know, state troopers have this weird thing about those VIN things being gone, and even though there's a VIN on the dash, and there's also a VIN on the firewall and the firewall plate, so I don't know, it's just a pain. Okay, so I pretty much have the VR4 stripped down. I have all I have to do is pull that little trim piece for the carpet back and mask. I may end up having to pull the dash, I'm not sure yet, but I definitely need to pull this piece of trim. And when I mask, I'll just mask on the back side, pretty much mask all that off. I don't think I have to pull the headliner out, but I'm going to anyway, because I want to do it in sway, like black sway. And then I'm going to pull these windows out, because the tint is all messed up on them anyway, so I'll re-tint it. Look at that sticker, 2002. Also get these out. I've been trying to get these out. They're just like seized in there. So, and this is the little things for when the roof's up, it has that little flap that comes up and directs the air, so it doesn't make that muffled sound when you're in the car. That's really, you know, hurts your ears. But I think I should be good. You know, there isn't that much of the body to actually paint on these cars. It's actually surprising that most cars, like the 240, if I pulled it apart, just because this has a glass roof, if I pulled it apart the same way, I'd have, you know, this and the roof and all the quarter panels. Look how much longer the quarter panels are just on the 240. And I just think that this is actually a little bit easier with body work and everything, just because it's not so overwhelming. Like the Supra the car is so bubbly, and it's all like one consistent piece. So when you paint this, it's all pretty much sectioned. The Supra's, you know, the quarter panels roll into the hard top, and then those roll into the other quarter panels. So if anything ever happens, you pretty much, like, blending it is a pain. So you'd have to paint the whole thing. But this, if I mess the quarter panel up and replace the quarter panel, there is this whole sail panel that is a whole separate piece, and you'd never see the match on the back of that. So, I mean, I could just like literally just backmask it right there, and you would never see a cutoff line, because everything is like pieces almost. Like, so here's like pretty much a piece, that's a removable piece. Like it's actually kind of a cool way that the car is put together, is it's all a bunch of pieces. Okay, so I'm actually extremely impressed. I've had this inductor for a while, and I've never used the thing that heats the bolts up to like get them out when they're rusted and stuck and seized. I've always used a glass tool, and I have all these other tools that I've never used. I beat this bolt, this little screw, to death, and couldn't get it undone. Was like contemplating like drilling it out and or cutting it and not having the little thing that flips up for the glass roof when it's off. But I literally heated it up until it started like smoking a little bit, and then whacked it one time with a punch, because I already messed up because it's a Phillips. I already messed it up, so I hit it, literally spun, put some vice grips on it, and it came right out. So I can't believe that I've never used this for bolts before, but I think whenever I have a stuck bolt now, I'm going to use it. I'm very impressed. Try to get this. Screwdriver. Okay, so I think that's it for this video today. I got the VR4 pretty much. Actually, I think it's stripped as much as I wanted. Oh, I still need to take that piece off before I finish today. So I have the windows out. I love that tool that I bought a long time ago. It's coming, you know, as the best 1,200 bucks I spent. And I pulled the quarter glasses out. You know, they come right out. It doesn't leave any of the glue, which is really nice, because when you have to scuff it and clean up the glue, it's like a big headache. And you know, I'm not good enough yet. I'm getting a little bit better. I didn't take off as much paint as I usually do, but you know, it's the single stage, so I'm glad it kind of came off. And now all I really need to do is you know, I'm not going to use these because it has that crappy tin on it. I could peel the tin off, but I have some, you know, really nice ones on that other car that don't have tin on them. And I'm going to probably put like I don't know, like 5%, maybe 15%, something like that in the back. We'll see what happens, how dark I'm going to go. But you really can't see anything out the back anyway when you're driving, because it's almost like that's pretty much a blind spot. You really can't see out that in the back window. You know, you kind of can see out of there, but it's not good enough to care about, even especially with that combat wing. It definitely takes up a little bit of the view, but it's nice to see. I'm glad the VR4 is stripped down now, so I can make a little bit of progress on it. I definitely want to get this thing painted as quick as possible. And once I get like the body, the hatch, the wing, the sail panels and all that stuff, I could pretty much put most of the interior back in. So thanks for watching. Comment below, subscribe if you're not subscribed, click that bell so you get notifications. It helps my channel out a lot, and see you guys tomorrow.